Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spotify Sessions, new ways to buy, create, and measure. I'm your host, Mina Nedi Amin, and I'm coming to you live from my Spotify offices in London. I could not be more excited to kick off our second Spotify Sessions, an event series crafted specifically for advertisers like you who want to maximize the potential of their media mix. Before we get started, though, a quick housekeeping note. Due to the size of our audience today, there are literally thousands of you tuning in. Your audio and your video are turned off. But don't worry, because we definitely want to hear from you. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll find your Slido panel. This is your space to interact with us throughout this session. Feel free to ask questions, participate in quizzes, or share your excitement when something resonates with you. We collected your questions when you RSVP'd and will aim to address them over the course of our event today. For any additional questions that you share in the Slido, we have an entire panel of experts on hand to answer as we go. Spoiler alert, we've also got some prizes for the most engaged participants during our quiz questions, so keep an eye out for those. Now, let's talk about why we're here. In today's crowded digital landscape, it's never been more important or more challenging for brands to capture the attention of their audience. At Spotify, we've continued to elevate our ads platform, and we're excited to reveal a whole suite of powerful new tools and solutions that make it easier than ever for brands like yours to create breakthrough campaigns that deliver measurable results. By the end of this session, you'll have all the knowledge you need to launch your ad campaigns on Spotify and achieve your business goals. Now, we've got an exciting program lined up for you over the next 40 minutes. First, you'll hear from Jenny, our Global Head of Thought Leadership. She'll talk about advertising trends that are currently grabbing the attention of our users and what that means for businesses like yours. Then she'll share the latest research from Spotify on how we're capturing user engagement and how that can translate to business results for brands. Next, you'll hear from Sam, our Global Head of Emerging and Scaled Advertising, and Doze, a Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Spotify, and they'll be exploring the latest features on Spotify's Ads Manager, like our new AI-powered audio ad creation tool, enhanced targeting options, full funnel measurement solutions, and so much more that can help advertisers of any size on any budget deliver on their business objectives. Finally, Sarah, our Global Marketing Lead for Emerging and Scaled Advertisers, will share some data-driven creative best practices that will help take your Spotify ads to the next level. She'll also explain how brands like yours have used those insights to create successful campaigns that resonated with their target audience in a big way. So, let's get things started, shall we? Before I hand it over to Jenny, I'm going to get everyone warmed up with the first of our 3 fun quizzes. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll find the Slido panel. This is where you'll be able to submit your answers to the quiz questions throughout today's presentation. And to make things extra spicy, because who doesn't love a good friendly competition, we have some great prizes up for grabs today, including a $300 gift card for Away, a $150 gift card for Uber, and a 3-month subscription to Spotify Premium. Winners will be selected based on who submits the correct answers in the fastest time. I'll be announcing the winners at the end of today's session, so stay tuned. And please use your full name when you enter Slido so that when you win, we can find you and give you your prize. Okay, ready? Let's get into it. Our first quiz question today is, what popular song is being referenced by this series of emojis? Could it be Coffee and TV by Blur, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, Dancing Queen, ABBA, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana, or Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin? So the sparkle and the mic are giving me Queen, but this song is always on the top of my Wrapped every single year, so I'm guessing Dancing Queen by ABBA. Okay, I was wrong. If you've had your morning espresso today, you are already on the right track. The answer is Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Fun fact, that song was actually 2024's #1 most streamed song globally. 2024 was the year of women in pop, and we saw the re-emergence of pop music as a top trending genre again. As a fellow pop girly, I love this for us. So let's get into it. Over to you, Jenny.
Thanks, Mina. From one pop girly to another. Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Haggard and I lead global thought leadership here at Spotify, which means I spend a lot of time in our dashboards thinking about what's happening on our platform and in the world. Now on Spotify, our audience of more than 675 million fans are constantly streaming culture. So whether that's through songs and or video podcasts and audiobooks, culture is always alive on Spotify. So let's see what's trending on Spotify right now. Last month was a big one for cultural moments around the world. We saw increases in streams focused on Ramadan, Carnival, and Coachella content. It was also International Women's Day. Women's History Month playlist content was popular globally, with streams from women users up 132%. But our allies also got in on the action. Streams of this content from men were also up 122%. We love to see it and hear it. Earlier this month, the much anticipated Minecraft movie premiered right here in London, and our users are loving it. There's been a 118% increase in streams over the past 2 weeks of the official Minecraft movie playlist on Spotify. And in case you missed it, Jack Black's single from the movie, Steve's Lava Chicken, became the shortest ever UK top 40 hit, clocking in at just 34 seconds, further proving the power of audio jingles for businesses of all sizes. Now that's tasty as hell. And it turns out people have been watching the action on Spotify too. Here's a great example. The #2 trending podcast episode globally right now is an episode from The Rest is Politics, which has seen a 730% increase in streams in the past week, even though it was released back in January. Podcasts are the new water cooler, and they really do extend the cultural conversations that are happening in the world. And with video podcasts, we give users the choice to watch or listen to the content. And they really seamlessly blend the intimacy of audio with the immersive power of visual storytelling. And last year, 40% of Spotify users who streamed a new podcast chose to watch the video version. Wow, Mina, I feel like I just did a newscast, breaking news reporting live. Now, in our next story, at Spotify, we are really passionate about consumer behavior and evolving our product to meet our fans' needs. And we know this because in today's swiping and scrolling culture, choice overload for consumers is real. They're bombarded everywhere they look and listen. So capturing attention has never been more difficult or more critical for brands as it is right now. And that's what makes this time in our industry, and I think really in our world, so fascinating. We've all heard the term attention economy, or the fact that we're all competing for consumers' attention. The race for attention is nothing new, but right now it is the wild, wild west. Every platform is trying to capture it. Every brand is trying to measure it, and yet there's no industry standard metric for measuring attention. So right now, attention is definitely the name of the game for marketers. But during this chaotic gold rush, how do you actually measure attention? And what does it mean for advertisers? We at Spotify are at the forefront of this movement. Our platform captures attention, and we are continually doing research to prove it, and helping you harness it for your campaigns too. So let's dive in. I mentioned earlier that people come to Spotify to listen and watch, which might surprise some of you. But here's the proof. We've seen in-focus time on Spotify, or what I like to call thumbs on, eyes on time, increase 37% globally over the past year. So Spotify isn't a background app. People are actively watching music videos and video podcasts, adding songs to their playlists, and curating their experience on Spotify. And this attention is great news for brands like yours, because we know that 93% of content engagement on Spotify translates directly to ad engagement on Spotify, which means your ads reap the benefits. Now, we know that not all attention is created equal. Like right now, while some of you might be solely focused on this event, which I very much appreciate, I imagine that some of you have minimized this tab while you're getting other work done, or checking email, or making a meal in the kitchen, or doing something else in the office or at home. Those two kinds of attention are very different. I know which one I prefer as a marketer, but I also know which one I tend to practice more as a consumer. We marketers want active attention, which considers a user's interaction with content, like scrolling or pausing or watching a video. You can think of it like the difference between sitting in a movie theater fully engrossed in a film or sitting at home scrolling on your phone while a show's on in the background. On Spotify, we're not only capturing active attention, we're setting the industry benchmark for it. We've partnered with major measurement and research firms like Adelaide, Lumen, and Amplified Intelligence to measure active attention across all of our ad formats, using a variety of the measurement solutions we've discussed. Thanks to this research, we know that Spotify video ads, which are only shown to users when the app is in view, are a leader in capturing eyes and ears. So for example, in Australia, we saw a 34% increase in active attention with our video ads compared to video on demand on TV, a 55% increase compared to online video, and a whopping 503% increase compared to scrollable social media, which is no surprise based on what we've just talked about. Now, like I mentioned, there's no industry standard metric for attention. So right now, a lot of brands are testing and learning to see what works. At Spotify, this puts us squarely in our element. Testing and learning is in our DNA. If you've ever used our app, you know that our interface is constantly serving up new content that we think you'll like. And our product is continually evolving based on consumer behavior. This exact same ethos of innovation applies to our ads business. And the research we've done with these measurement partners is showing that it's working. When compared to social media, our video ads drive 5 times more attention and our audio ads more than 4 times. I hope these results are grabbing your attention right now. So this really begs the question, is your brand ready for the attention frontier? The industry is on the cusp of a new era where attention is more accurately measured, understood, and strategically applied to business. I believe that the future of marketing will be owned and driven by those who can not only capture people's attention, but hold it. And on Spotify, we've proven that we're already doing it. So if you want to capture your audience's attention, we have the solutions that can help you do it. And it's never been easier to do so thanks to the updates that Sam and Dodes will share with you in just a moment. But before that, let's bring our fabulous host back to the stage. Hi, Mina.
Wow, Jenny, seriously, invaluable insights. And honestly, I agree with the research. I can't remember the last thing I was scrolling on socials.
Me neither, no.
I do remember the last thing I streamed on Spotify, though. What was yours?
On the walk over here this morning, I listened to Kehlani and her single After Hours.
What a bop. I listened to Nueva Yol by Bad Bunny.
So trendy.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Jenny.
much. Keep crushing it.
Thank you. The next section today will focus on how Ads Manager's exciting new product innovations will help you tap into all of the user attention that Jenny just shared with us and drive results for your business. But before we dive into that, you guessed it, let's have another quiz. For our next quiz question, what famous musician is being referenced by this string of emojis? Could it be Billie Eilish, Harry Styles, Adele, Kendrick Lamar, or Drake? The football is giving Super Bowl, so I'm guessing something about a live performance halftime show. We're right, the answer is Kendrick Lamar. Following this year's Super Bowl halftime performance, streams of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us increased by a whopping 430%. And while I don't know this for a fact, searches for bell-bottom jeans must have surged too, or was it a flare jean? Hottest debate on the internet in the first half of this year. I'm Team Flare all the way, but jump into the Slido and let me know what you think. Next up, Sam and Dodes will be joining us over in the podcast studio to discuss the latest features on Spotify Ads Manager that can help advertisers like you reach your business goals on our platform. Over to you in the studio, Sam.
Thanks, Mina. And hey, everyone. I'm Sam, coming to you live from our podcast studios from London to share with you some of our exciting updates to our Ads Manager tool. Quick disclaimer, neither I nor my co-hosts are podcast pros, but we wanted to make sure that we're having a real conversation about our latest product offerings. And hey, if all goes well, maybe this is our big break. But before we dive in, I want to make sure we set the stage. For nearly 2 decades, Spotify has been shaping music and culture, connecting artists, podcasters, fans, and creators. Today, with music videos, audiobooks, and video podcasts, we're more central to culture than ever before. With over 675 million users across over 180 markets, 90% of Spotifyers say that we're essential to their day. That emotional connection is why people call it my Spotify. Just think of Wrapped and the global moment it creates. This is the reason why Spotify spend over 2 hours with us every single day. In 2025, we're doubling down on music and video, with the viewership of video up nearly 44% year over year. And this is the reason why we're evolving our Ads Manager tool to meet this moment, giving advertisers more control, more ease, and better tools to make sure that we're driving real business results. Now, joining me on the mic is the real brains behind this dynamic duo. It's Doze from our product team. Hey Doze, how you doing?
Hi Sam, that was a very professional tap of the microphone. I did feel like a real podcaster until that moment. But does it feel professional that we've worn the exact same outfit to work today?
I think we look phenomenal. Can we? We're so on brand.
Yeah, we could do a fashion podcast, but instead, I think we should probably speak a bit about what we've been building with Spotify Ads Manager.
Sounds great. Let's jump straight in.
Cool. Let's talk about new ways to buy. So last year, we introduced a totally reimagined Spotify Ads Manager, which really laid the foundation for what we're talking about today. So here you can see the objectives that are currently available in Ads Manager. So when an advertiser sets up their campaign, they select the delivery objective that best meets their needs as a business. The ad auction then uses machine learning to deliver the ads to Spotify users that are most likely to take an action that aligns with the advertiser objective. And in 2025, we are taking a huge step into the world of direct response with the launch of lower funnel objectives. So we're really excited to announce that in addition to reach, impressions, clicks, video views, and streams, advertisers can now optimize campaigns for app installs and website traffic.
Okay, I like where this is going, Doze. We have a lot of performance advertisers on the call. Let's just get straight to it. And I think this is going to be music to their ears, finally hearing their language coming to life, and this idea of us driving further down the funnel. But in terms of kind of the objectives that we offer, I want to imagine kind of what that is. What do we mean by we're going further down the funnel?
Totally. Yeah. So obviously these two new objectives today offer advertisers the ability to achieve their goals in a new way, whether it be app installs or website traffic. But they also do pave the way for further lower funnel optimizations, which we're planning to release later this year.
So let's just be honest. This has been the industry norm for video and display advertising. And I think what's great to hear is it sounds like we're bringing this same logic to audio. And I think ultimately the question now is how do you get started on this journey? How have we got here?
Yeah, so really it was the launch of the Spotify Pixel in Ads Manager that enabled us to introduce our first performance objective, which is website traffic. And that really is the first step on this journey. It's just the beginning with more objectives like lead generation, purchases. They'll all come soon and they'll all be powered by the Spotify Pixel.
So if I'm now reading between the lines, you're going to be making some performance advertisers very, very happy.
We always try our best to do that, Sam. And on that note, I did want to cover some exciting news about targeting, because as we talked about with our objectives, our objective-based buying, you optimize ads towards your business objective. But our targeting suite is really an extension of that optimization, ensuring advertisers are finding and reaching the right people in the right moment, in the right environments, at the right time. And so we're really thrilled to say that we've recently expanded our audience targeting to include custom audiences and lookalike audiences. And so advertisers can bring their audiences to us. We'll match them with the Spotify audience or help them find lookalikes on Spotify, i.e. potential new customers, and they can expand their reach.
So what you're telling me right now, everybody listening to this podcast from home is going to be followed around Spotify with visual display ads and video ads of us two for the next couple of weeks.
That's down to our marketing team. And yeah, I can see them beaming in the corner. So they're doing their job. Maybe.
We can measure them. Okay, Doge, so we've talked a lot about the technical stuff, which, let's be honest, is incredibly important. But let's be honest, the creative side, a little bit more interesting. Let's jump straight into it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get to the juicy stuff, because I'm really looking forward to this section, because I think this is something very close to our audience's hearts. Everyone wants to make quick and easy creative that's also really impactful.
So let me guess, you're going to tell us you've got a quick and easy way to get impactful creative on Spotify?
Yeah, and I'm not just going to tell you, I've got a very fancy video to show you.
As if we had this practice.
But before we get to that, I do want to just give a quick overview of the new ways to easily create ads on our platform. So first thing first is repurposing existing audio or video assets. So it's not the sexiest title, repurposing, but it's really important that we give advertisers that flexibility to use the assets from, say, social platforms. They can be really efficient and repurpose them here on Spotify. That's really important.
That obviously sounds incredibly simple, easy, but let's just be honest. We're talking audio assets here. Audio is going to be a new medium for many advertisers, and let's just face it, a new medium is pretty daunting. What are we doing to help those guys?
Definitely. I think it's a really good point. And if audio is new to an advertiser, they can use the free audio creation tools in Ads Manager. So we spent a lot of time ensuring that this is a really easy ad creation process. But not only that, it time and time again produces first-class creative. And quickly, I think people find that they make and produce audio ads like an expert. So you can choose from a library of background music, you work with voice actors and voiceovers, you get access to professional mixing, all within the platform. So it's all there for you to use.
Did you say as well, ad creation is completely free?
Completely free. Yeah, so there's no excuses. Now you have your audio creative alongside your existing video assets, and you're ready to launch that multi-format campaign through Ads Manager. And if that wasn't enough, now advertisers can harness the power of generative AI to assist in script making, voiceover creation, and music mixing, all for audio ads.
Wow, that must be a record. In 2025, we've gone, is it close to 8 minutes now? And we're only just talking about the phrase AI, but all jokes aside, AI means a pretty big, vast topic area. What do we actually mean by that?
Yeah, exactly. So I think for the Spotify diehards out there, you've probably been using AI experiences, and that'll be nothing new. So over the last decade, almost probably, or longer, think of AI DJ, a Daylist. All these things are familiar to the average Spotify consumer. Now we're building that same expertise and innovative approach to our advertising partners with Spotify generative AI ads. And what this means is that now advertisers can create audio ads in literally minutes. Promise you, it is the easiest process instead of days for a human voiceover. And advertisers can also test as many creators as they want. This is hugely scalable. So they can work out whether a male voice is more effective than a female voice. What is most effective on Spotify? You can now find out.
I think we have that little teaser now, don't we?
Let's go for it.
Spotify's been in the AI game for over a decade. Now we're bringing that expertise to advertising. Check out Spotify Gen AI Ads. Spotify Ads Manager has always put ease, control, and performance at the forefront of the advertiser journey. And with the launch of our Gen AI-powered ad creation tool, it's never been easier to create best-in-class audio ads. Let's try an example using an ad from Grindstones Coffee. First, generate a script. Check out your first draft. Next, you'll add your voiceover, customized by gender, age, and tone. And finally, select some background music. Upload your own track or choose one from our music library. And voila.
Spring is in the air at Grindstones Coffee. Step into the season with new twists on classic favorites.
Was that just our first podcast ad? Are we that legit now?
It did look like it, didn't it?
Nice intersect. But in all seriousness, let's just be honest. Is it that simple? That was obviously very well polished, put together sizzle reel. But like, can I do it? Like, is it that easy?
Yeah, I promise you, it's incredibly simple. I've used it loads now, and it never fails to blow my mind. I think my favorite thing is that once you've generated that first ad, the ability to go in and edit, put emphasis on certain words, change how a word is pronounced, all of this is just super simple, highly customizable. Yeah, it's truly remarkable.
Great. Well, there is a little rumor going around the podcast studios. Is it true? You can confirm or deny that your voice is actually one of the main actors behind it.
Main actors. I mean, that I think is being generous, and I cannot confirm or deny. But I can tell you, it is built using Spotify's proprietary technology. So I think from that you can just tell it's going to sound on point. It's coming from the audio experts. We know what we're doing. Yeah, really excited to get people's hands on this.
Seems like a bit of a hint there, but I won't press you. But you mentioned it's available. What do you mean by that? Is it available to everybody, customers of all shapes and sizes, global? Where is it right now?
So this is available to all advertisers in the US and Canada, and we're looking forward to launching in the UK very soon. We then obviously want to expand into as many markets as possible, but I would want to stress that until that point, we still have a completely free service that advertisers can use, working with our trusted voiceover and production partners. So nothing stopping anyone from creating audio ads for free on our platform.
That feels a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of an exclusive for everyone on the line there. Just launched.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are coming to a desktop near you.
Well, we've obviously heard now how easy it is to create the ads, but let's get to it. Where are these ads even appearing?
Yeah, I think the first thing to talk about here is Spotify's unique ability to reach users both in screenless moments. So think about, a phone in a pocket, but also when the app is in view. So starting with those kind of screenless moments, audio advertising really lets brands connect with an audience and forge that connection in that no swipe environment. So we know we are completely tuned into the listener and they're tuned into us. So even when a phone is out of view, brands can connect on whatever device they're listening on in a variety of environments at multiple moments in that kind of consumer decision journey. And then to help that audio ad further and make that a better experience, advertisers can also use those visual assets you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, like canvas and CTA cards, all these visual elements, clickable elements, really just improve that audio ad experience.
Okay, so unsurprisingly, with Spotify, we've talked a lot about audio there, and it's great to see how these companion assets are ultimately complementing the audio. But we also talked about video and display earlier on and just how much more time people have spent looking at Spotify. Can you bring that to life a bit? Like, where are those opportunities?
Yeah, so I think one thing to remember as an advertiser is we only will serve a video ad to a user if the screen is in view and if the user is actually engaging with the app. So what we found is that advertisers see a 70% lift in incremental reach and a 59% lift in click-through rate when investing in video for the first time on Spotify, which is obviously they're huge numbers. And on this theme, the sort of next thing I want to talk about has been a long time coming, which is that we have just launched display ads in Ads Manager. And display ads really open up an exciting new opportunity to connect with audiences on the most viewed pages and placements that you can see there across the app.
Video and display really do just seem like the easy entry point for a lot of advertisers. Let's be honest, you said repurposing not the sexiest of topics, but it's the easiest way to get going. I think whilst that's exciting, we've seen that consumption of video going up and up and up in platform to utilize that. But yeah, these two placements to me are two of the most iconic screens within Spotify, if not with the internet. Like, what a great place for brands to be discovered.
Yeah. You definitely get the prize for the most excited person at Spotify for display ads, Sam. But I do agree with you. These are truly iconic placements. But let's maybe call it for a moment and we'll take a question from the audience. And I've got a good one from George, who says, when thinking of Spotify advertising, I often just think of audio. With that in mind, how can advertisers integrate audio into their broader marketing strategies? And what unique storytelling and branding opportunities does audio advertising on Spotify provide in comparison to other media?
Absolutely. Well, again, like we said, audio is obviously going to be the core of Spotify. And I think it's what makes it so powerful. I think, though, what we're starting to see is audio is just a key part to people's daily lives. We're right there in people's ears when they're focused, present, and open. And regardless of whatever research you want to quote here, there is a direct correlation between people being open and being more open to messaging. And so I think this just, again, it's just key for people to just really understand that unique opportunity that we are presenting. But yeah, I think we can bang on about audio, and I'm obviously very passionate about that space. But I think whilst audio is just a truly overlooked medium within media plans, the fact of the matter is when paired with video and display, it amplifies the performance of those mediums as well. And so when I think about kind of Spotify as a whole, as much as we kind of can talk the audio game, the fact of the matter is it's a truly multi-format platform. And if you want to be driving the best success on Spotify, it's not going to be doing one or the other. It's going to be bundling them together. And as we start to talk about more things like objective-based buying, custom audiences, we get it. This isn't new to the display and video game, but it is to the audio space. And I think that's really what is exciting, is bringing what is truly tried and tested methodology into the audio space. And yeah, we're seeing it pay off. We're starting to see some incredible early tests in our platform where we're seeing, I think, 22% on average incremental reach when people are bundling it all together compared to social and display.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's actually a lovely segue into our next topic, which is everyone's favorite topic, I think, ad tech topic, measurement.
Oh, talking about ending on a high here. We're going to measurement. Okay, but in all seriousness, if we can't measure it, it doesn't matter. And so I think as much as not always going to be the sexiest title that gets everyone pumped at the end of the podcast, but the fact of the matter is, it is so critical for people to kind of hold us accountable to drive performance.
Exactly our sentiment, Sam, which is why we're bringing more measurement to the forefront of Ads Manager. So first on this theme, and this is a big plug here, coming tomorrow to Spotify Ads Manager is our new Spotify brand lift tool. So huge, exciting. And I think it just looks amazing. I think it's the coolest product. And it is measurement, I know, but I think it is the coolest. But most importantly, it will allow advertisers now to measure how that kind of high engagement, user engagement that we have on our platform translates into upper funnel outcomes for their brands.
It does look pretty slick, and I think it feels incredibly native. And reinforcing that, you're saying tomorrow as in tomorrow?
As in tomorrow.
That's even more exclusive than previous announcements.
And I agree. It looks incredibly slick, and it shouldn't feel intrusive to the user because the tool is only shown when the user is in view. So another tool that is completely free.
Another thing that's free. Come on, Toes, like, are we just giving away everything at this point? Like, are we charging for anything? But let's be honest, like when you say released, you mentioned there AI, like, going to be released in a couple of markets at first. What's the kind of mention here? Is it kind of being released to everyone? What's the story?
Yeah, this is going to go global. So it's going to be available everywhere that Spotify Ads Manager is. And yeah, another reason why we're super excited about this one.
Okay, great. But when I think brand lift, I don't instantly scream conversions. Doesn't think of lower funnel performance advertisers. Let's talk a little bit more about that space.
Yeah, you're tough to please, Sam. But yeah, so let's keep talking about first party measurement solutions. So we should definitely talk about Spotify Pixel, which again, another recent launch in Ads Manager, which launched globally, again, available everywhere. So by installing a Spotify Pixel on your website, you can gain deeper insights into those lower funnel performance metrics. So, and then on top of that, you can access the pixel-based optimizations we talked about at the top. So website traffic and all the other lovely objectives we're going to launch later this year. And then for a more holistic view across web, app, and also offline actions, we now have the Spotify Conversions API.
So let's just be honest. Advertisers have their preferences as well. So third parties, what are we doing in that space? Come on, name drop some names here.
Yeah, a lot of names. Here they come. So in terms of, we'll start with mobile measurement partners. So we partner with both Kachava and AppsFlyer, and we'll also be adding to that list soon with the likes of Adjust. For media verification, we partner with IAS and Double Verify, who are exclusive to Spotify Ads Manager for viewability measurement. And to really make sure we are catering to all preferences and tastes, advertisers can also leverage up to 15 different third-party tags for our trusted and approved vendors. So there's a lot of things going on.
Sounds like, again, another announcement there. Just joining the party. You could say we're adjusting things here. Like, no, too far, but it really sounds like Doge. You are inviting everyone to the party.
Yeah, we're inclusive here at Spotify. Before we finish, I thought we should take this question from Daryl, which I really liked. It sums up the sentiment on Slido nicely, I think. He says, looking ahead, how does Spotify's investment in advanced measurement tools help advertisers to connect their Spotify campaigns to broader business outcomes? And what strategic insights can they gain to inform their future marketing decisions?
Again, I think the key here is a lot of this has been industry standard for a while now, be it video or display. But things like Spotify Brand Lift, we've talked about their Pixel, we've talked about the Conversions API. Bringing this for the first time across all mediums, including audio, is going to be incredibly powerful for your advertisers looking to drive business results. Whilst like measurement is critical, I think the key thing is here is actually what it taps into, and that's going to be enabling advertisers to finally start optimizing their campaigns within the Spotify environment to make sure that they're ultimately driving their full funnel results that they are holding themselves accountable for. So I think this is kind of the big crux is whilst the measurement suite is going to continue to adapt and evolve, I think actually the truly exciting component is what it empowers advertisers to do down the line.
But on that note, we should really give the professionals their studio back.
I agree, but I think at this point we're becoming naturals at this. But no, I agree with you. But yes, let's give it back to the pros. But before we do that, I just want to thank everyone for dialing in and hopefully really just feel the excitement that we have towards the future of our ads platform. We are more confident than ever that Spotify belongs in your media mix. And we believe we have the capabilities, be it measurement, to prove it. We're jumping in and we want to make sure that you are too. Now I'm going to hand back to Mina, who's going to wrap things up with our final session of today's agenda.
First comes the attention. Then comes a product to help you harness that attention and drive meaningful and measurable business results. And how about that Gen AI tool that makes it easy to create audio ads in minutes and it's free? Impressive innovations for sure, Dodes. And it's just the beginning of what our teams are building to meet advertisers like yours needs. Okay, team, we just gave you a whole lot of information to digest, so I think it's time to mix things up with another quiz. Is everybody ready? What podcast title is being referenced by these emojis? Is it Crime Junkie, TED Talks Daily, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, Stuff You Should Know, or The Joe Rogan Experience? Okay, so my favorite podcast did not make this list, but for all you fashion folks out there, it's called Fashion People by Lauren Sherman. Check it out. The answer is Crime Junkie. Fun fact, Crime Junkie was actually one of our top globally streamed podcasts from 2024. As our podcast offerings have evolved on Spotify, we've seen an 88% surge last year in users who are consuming video podcasts. For our final section of today's session, Sarah will be taking you through the creative potential advertisers have with Spotify advertising. Take it away, Sarah.
Thanks, Mina. Hello, I'm Sarah, and I lead brand strategy for our emerging and scaled advertiser audience here at Spotify. I'm here to talk to you about how we're using our deep understanding of music, culture, and fandom to help brands produce their most creative work and reach fans in a way that only Spotify can. All right, so let's dive into the creative potential of Spotify. Each of our Spotifys provides the soundtrack to our everyday lives. In fact, 92% of our users say that they use Spotify as part of their daily routine. More than any other platform, we're the essential companion to their lives. Spotify is a safe, positive space that keeps us tuning in day after day. It's a home for the creators we love, the passions that power our moments and feed our fandoms, the culture we love to explore. Spotify is a place to play, and it's also a springboard for creativity. We know that your creative appetite is there. We spoke to creatives in the ad industry and 96% agreed that they could benefit from more creative opportunities. We also know that Spotify can help to feed that creative hunger. In fact, 87% say that Spotify allows them to be more creative compared to other platforms. So, here are some creative best practices, backed by data of course, that will help your advertising to excel on our platform. When it comes to video ads on Spotify, you can expect to see better performance by using these creative best practices. So first, say it and then say it again. You won't have your audience's attention for long, so maximize your impact by mentioning your brand several times. Video ads with 2 to 4 mentions drive stronger familiarity, favorability, search intent, and consideration intent. Next, what's your point of view? We find that third-person narration drives lifts in recall and awareness, while first-person narration drives lifts in favorability, search intent, and consideration intent. Don't forget the CTA. Video ads that include a CTA drive higher performance in search intent versus ads with no call to action. And if you're measuring lower funnel outcomes, it's crucial that you tell users what you want them to do next. Next, text up. Remember, you aren't limited to the spoken word. Video ads containing text in more than 50% of the frames see a 9-point higher lift in search intent and a 7-point lift in consideration intent versus ads with lighter text. Let the music play. Video ads with background music drive stronger performance amongst awareness and familiarity versus ads without music. And lastly, orient yourself. Be sure to tailor your video orientation to your format. For mobile, go vertical. Now let's see some of these best practices in action with a successful video ad campaign from Virgin Active. Virgin Active aimed to increase brand awareness and gym membership sign-ups. To achieve this, they ran video ads via the clicks objective to reach in-focus Spotify users who were more likely to click on an ad. Their video ad contrasts a full colour montage of fake wellness solutions with the black and white reality of hitting the gym with Virgin Active for genuine results. Let's take a look at their campaign.
Sick of the fakes, fads, shams, and false promises plaguing wellness culture? Join the club. Unlock real progress with world-class equipment and classes that will rev your body and quieten your mind with real support every step of the way. Join Virgin Active, where wellness gets real.
Virgin Active's background music really complemented their tongue-in-cheek messaging without distracting. They tailored their video to fit the screen seamlessly with a mobile-first vertical orientation and ended with a really clear and strong CTA. And the campaign's success is clear in the results. Their video campaign on Spotify delivered an impressive click-through rate of 1.77% from over 7.5 million impressions and directly resulted in 461 new gym membership sign-ups. In addition, by implementing the Spotify Pixel, Virgin Active gained precise, actionable insights into their campaign's performance, effectively demonstrating its direct impact on driving incremental sign-ups. Now let's discuss best practices for audio ads on Spotify. First, keep it succinct. The more focused an ad is, the more engaging and memorable it is to listeners. We recommend aiming for around 60 to 80 words for a 30-second ad. Next, include brand mentions early and often. Early and repeated brand mentions tend to drive stronger favorability and intent. Pull focus. You really want your core message to break through. The best way to do that is to focus on one key message and end with a clear and concise CTA. Next, keep the pace. Your ad read should make it easy for listeners to get the message, so don't rush the delivery. And finally, let the music play. Similar to video best practices, background music helps drive stronger intent and message association. Opt for tracks that won't distract but will enhance your messaging. And wrapping up all of these best practices, we want to share an audio campaign that hit all the marks. World Rugby is an international federation spanning more than 500 million fans and 8 million players. Their goal was to drive awareness for Rugby Sevens and to drive ticket sales for a live tournament, HSBC Sevens, which was taking place in LA. By leveraging Ads Manager's free audio ad creation tool, they were able to run an audio campaign for which they produced 2 assets, one to introduce the upcoming tournament and another to promote it. Both ad sets focused on driving traffic to the tournament website where people could directly purchase tickets. So let's listen to one of their ad spots.
HSBC Sevens is back at the Dignity Health Sports Park on the 2nd and 3rd March 2024. HSBC Sevens Los Angeles is 2 action-packed days of non-stop rugby, fitness, live music, drinks, and food. Tickets from as little as $55. So get them now at svns.com before it's too late.
World Rugby's ads exceeded click-through rate benchmarks for audio ads on Spotify and accomplished their secondary goal of increasing awareness amongst rugby fans and sports enthusiasts. And don't forget that while audio will always be our superpower, our platform is now more visual than ever, and our users are spending more and more time with video content. Multi-format campaigns allow you to reach users however they're streaming in the moment. Brands that run both video and audio see a 7% higher brand awareness and message association, 27% higher purchase intent, and 66% more incremental sales versus audio-only campaigns. So if you really want to supercharge your campaigns, remember to add Spotify video and display to your media mix. Now you have everything you need to invest wisely in your Spotify ad campaigns and deliver on your business objectives. I'll pass it back over to Mina to close us out. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah. So a few reminders before we announce the winners of today's quiz. First, launch your campaign today using Spotify's Ads Manager, or visit ads.spotify.com to get started. Stay connected, sign up for our newsletter, follow along on Spotify Advertising LinkedIn, and you'll find educational resources and product news on an ongoing basis. And finally, please share your feedback via our post-event survey. We want to make sure we're giving you all the information in the best format for you that you need to find success with your campaigns on Spotify. Simply scan the QR code on the screen to be taken to a really quick feedback survey. And now, let's announce our winners of today's quizzes. The third place winner is Hunter Vainick. You win a 12-month subscription to Spotify Premium. Congratulations. The second winner is Shannon Morris. You win a $150 Uber gift card. Congratulations to you too. And the first place winner is Madison Myers. You're quick, Madison. You win a $300 Away gift card. Congratulations to you as well. For our winners, we'll be reaching out to you in the next 24 hours so you can redeem your great prizes. And that's all from us today. Thank you so much from all of us here at Spotify. It's been a pleasure to be your host, and we hope to see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.